Hey Cancers, welcome to my channel and to your September 2019 love reading. We're going to look at how you and your partner's connection looks, any advice that you need to have as far as the positive or negative influences, what to avoid, and what you need to know. Alright, this is going to be for singles and for partners. If you're new to my channel, thanks for checking me out, guys. If you like how I do things and want to hit subscribe, comment giveaway down below and I will get you entered into my monthly giveaway. And for those of you returning, thank you as always for all of your support. You guys are amazing. Now, I am going to include all my information down below for my personal reading information, my schedules, my healing products, my meditation, all that kind of jazz is down there, and my information for my memberships, okay? So check that out, and you can also follow me on Instagram, earthlyenergies1111. Alright guys, general reading, take what fits and leave the rest, alright? Now, I'm going to also have an extended available, so all that information is down there if you want to take a look a little bit further into this. And a little bit of your love will be involved, or included in your monthlies too, so if you want to look there, I will have those out next, and you can see what's going on. Alright, so, let's see how you and your boo are feeling, alright? And just go from there. Okay. Astrologically, there's a lot going on, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. 8 of Pentacles for the overall energy. Alright. And then we've got the King of Wands for how you feel about your person of interest. Okay, this is from a singles at the moment. And then the 7 of Wands for how they feel about you. Alright, so we've got kind of an interesting little combination here of where they're feeling like it's moving into the next level, or possibility of being able to move into the next level because you've opened up an opportunity, it looks like, or opened up at all. 8 of Pentacles, working towards advancing in the relationship here. Some nice energy, Cancers. I like this so far. I like this. This is the feeling that things have reflected or been communicated, or actions have been taken enough to where everyone's owned what they needed to, and you guys have come together in some kind of a connection here, communication. You could even hooked up and that, you know, kind of took things to the next level here. So for many of you, I'm feeling really good about this. This is going in a very good connection, in a good direction here. Knight of Wands for is this love? Well, it's certainly going in the right direction. Okay, Cancer, this is really doing what it takes to make the best impression and to make it known that this is what I want and this is where I'm going with things. So I do think that if this was going to last and be a solid relationship, this is the steps they would need to take to get there. And 2019 is about, you know, establishing some of these boundaries so that we can really utilize the 2020 energy, which is all about having long-term relationships. Okay, mid-month here, we're going to have a situation where we're going to have some communication or an opportunity to interact, and it's going to be all about positive communication. Okay, now depending on how this kind of goes, I'll see how that applies to you, but overall, as long as you have constructive and positive communication and an outlook that matches, this is going to, you know, you're not going to have any kind of negative influence. But let's see what kind of influence is affecting you guys here. The Knight of Wands. So trying, you guys, there's so much passion going on. You guys are trying to keep it, like, you don't want to move too fast. Okay, you want to keep it in a steady pace to where things can evolve, you know, naturally and works with a solid foundation. However, it's like you guys are gung-ho for each other, and the hard part is slowing down a little bit and not being too, I don't want to say foolish, it's not necessarily foolish, but it's definitely got that energy to it. So you want to just definitely take your time and choose your actions wisely. Okay, just, you know, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. You know, no reason to rush things along just because they feel great. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so what do we need to avoid? The 3 of Cups in reverse is what we need to avoid. So for some of you, this could be a past situation where maybe this person was a runner, or you were a runner. Things got really intense, and it just kind of fizzled out from there. And I think this is why. It's because all of this passion gets all heated up and everything gets dispersed, and then everyone's kind of like, oh, drained a little bit. So as long as you're pacing yourself here at a steady pace, go with the flow. Do not jump the gun. That's what this energy is about. Virgo energy is do not jump the gun, go with the flow. So when you're going about your decision making here for my singles, okay, or people who are getting into a relationship, make sure you're staying very aware of avoiding jumping the gun. Just let it ride out to the end, okay, and enjoy the present moments as you have it, as opposed to trying to get to a further position without going through, you know, the time period and going through the experiences, and all of that stuff plays a really big role. All right, what do you need to know? The Four of Swords. So rest when you need to, okay? Again, don't force anything here. The Emperor's at the bottom of the deck. That's really telling me that this is going to be an important opportunity for you guys to build structure and foundation that lasts, okay? This energy that's coming through, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all coming into Libra, and then we've also got Saturn going direct in Capricorn. So all of that energy basically says your personal foundations and limitations are being tested right now. So just make sure you are complying with your self-love, with your self-worth, with the way it kind of should be. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the way everybody else does it or whatever, but let this harvest naturally, okay? That's my recommendation for you guys. Seasonal harvest. Let it just flow. Because I feel like if you jump the gun and you just want to rush things along because it feels great, you could end up in a blocked energy or a delay of some kind, or communication blockage, something like that, okay? So let's just be cautious of that. Now, for my partners, you guys are hot and heavy though, man, oh man. Yeah, as far as the Three of Cups, just be cautious not to go backwards. That's my main advice with that one. Just, you definitely want to keep moving towards better as opposed to repeating past behaviors, which would send you backwards. Okay, for my partners, let's see how you're feeling. What's the overall energy right now? The Knight of Pentacles, how are you feeling? Got the Six of Swords. Excuse me. So moving into a better type of an energy here in the Page of Swords. So there's a little communication going on. If you guys were in some type of a communication blockage or there was a disconnection there, that's coming away. That's, you know, that part's fizzling out. And you're coming back into a nice communication here where things are kind of slow and steady but practical. There's a plan. There's an end in sight here as far as whatever the delay was. Six of Swords, again, that's about coming into a better mentality, feeling a little bit more confident because there's been communication or connections made, okay? And the Page of Swords. So, I feel like there's a little bit of a hesitation or an anxiety because this person, it's almost like you're kind of wondering if they're serious. You're wondering if they're going to take this situation yeah, that's the best I can think. As serious as they should, as you are. They're going to match your energy and effort put into this, okay? The Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this influence here had something to do with someone's attention was distracted, or they just didn't handle balancing everything out properly. So some people or some areas were getting neglected, okay? More than they really needed to, or something like that. Let's see as far as this relationship lasting for my Cancer partners. Knight of Swords. So, yeah, so there was definitely a need to communicate about whatever this Ace of Wands in reverse was. Something about maybe there was an opportunity, but no, it didn't get taken. And that did create a little bit of a delay here because the Wheel of Fortune was trying to get things in motion, but possibly someone didn't take the offer or they ran from the offer. But anyway, I do see this having an opportunity to come back around, but it has to have solid communication, positive communication, optimism, even though that could be confusing. Excuse me. Because it's, like I said, it's like a test. It's a test to see if you're going to see this through the end and not jump the gun. You know, don't go around, don't pass the car before you see what's around the corner, okay? Definitely let it ride out. That's the energy that I'm getting here. Let it ride out. And you can be direct without adding the heated, blunt force, you know, stab to the situation. That is not going to be necessary, but I do think direct communication is. So it just depends on the delivery. You see what I'm saying? Communication, it's going to be received differently for everybody, but this is something that definitely needs to take place. There's a blockage here, okay? Whether you're trying to move forward in a different direction or whether you're trying to make this connection work, there is going to be a need to communicate where you're at with things. Because someone's just kind of sitting out and feeling in the dark here while the other kind of knows what's up, but they're just kind of sitting on the sideline, not really wanting to step up and make that move, knowing that it's all that it's going to take to get this going again. I mean, you've put everything out that you really needed to. At this point, I feel for many of you, this is about them reaching out. 5 of Swords in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this is about someone doing some damage in the past, possibly, that it just wasn't, it was never dealt with. And there's been these, like, negative stabs at each other of resentment because it was never there, but it's just right there. It's one communication, you know, away, or one talk away, basically, from being able to heal that energy, because you guys kind of both want it, but it's a very scary type of an energy to get into, because it is going to require ownership and becoming vulnerable and putting yourself out there, and you know, that is uncomfortable for many people. So that's kind of the position that I'm seeing with whoever it is you're dealing with, or this could be you as well, Cancer. All right. Now, what do we need to avoid here? We've got the Queen of Swords. So, you know, yeah, avoid having that return bitterness, and try to come at this from a more constructive and positive way. You're going to come out of this on top. I mean, as long as you're following the energies in the way that they can help you, either way, you come out on top. And the Hierophant for what you need to know. So, taking this in a traditional route as opposed to jumping the gun. Okay, where's my singles? I told them not to jump the gun to get hot and heavy with somebody. Don't jump the gun to come to a conclusion about somebody here. But it is going to take a traditional approach and less of that emotional ego. Okay? All right, let me get an advice card for you, for my partners. Affirmation for growth. So this is telling me that this whole experience, and if you guys remember back in April or May, I did mention in August and September there was going to be a test coming. I didn't look at the astrological signs at the time. I just know the intuitive messages that I get as I'm doing the readings, and that kept coming out for every zodiac for a couple months there. And this was it. It's the test to see if you've grown, if you can not go backwards and do things in a more constructive way, that it is more serving for you. And in the end, it doesn't enable any negative behaviors. It actually is affirming for growth, okay? It's preparing for growth. So, as long as that's the mentality and the intention from both sides here, that's really where you're doing the right thing. And you're going to get what you want out of this. But this was a growing experience, so before you just kind of cut it off and run, I would look at some of the details and at least get that conversation closure going on, okay, so you can feel better about that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the extended, guys. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the other end. Bye. Alright, so to confirm for my singles here, Queen of Pentacles for the current energy, Queen of Cups for how you feel, And I just realized I was putting my cards up there and I totally just like stopped doing it, so shit. Sorry guys. I got in the zone there. I'll try to remember. Alright. I don't know what happened there. Totally brain fart. Anyway, so how this person's feeling about you, how you're feeling, the overall energy. Well, damn. Everybody's feeling great, right? And trying not to get trapped up in this energy because it's so powerful. But you are definitely nurturing some energies here at this one. Okay, they're feeling like they are seeing things very clearly. You guys are like, no, we know what we're doing. We're just gonna we're gonna go ahead and just commit here and become a thing. This isn't, it's not toxic. Everything's good. We're good. We're all good. You are good. Everything is solid. Only thing is, this will happen if you guys don't slow it down. Alright? Nobody likes to hear that shit, I know. But the point is you want to make it last. You want this feeling to be extended, not short term, right? So if you want this to last, the energy is looking beautiful. But you definitely want to make sure you're coming at this slow and steady. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Alright, as far as what the influence is here, this 3 of Cups and 6 of Swords, all both in reverse. Too many cards. Get that one. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. So, yeah, again, there's like a loss here, or like a lack of knowing how to balance things out from in the past. And I think it's because the energies get really intense and things kind of somebody gets cold feet or anxiety because I don't think it's because of lack of desire. It's a lack of energy. It's a draining of energy. So to avoid that, you guys are going to have to take these periodic rests, and allow yourself to really rejuvenate so that there's no, hidden feelings simply because you're tired or exhausted or you guys have drained each other, okay? You don't want to have any bad luck here. So, and for somebody, I keep getting this message, for somebody has a tendency of going back into toxic relationships because it's a fear, but it's also like this, it's like an ego boost, but it's like an ego protection as well. It's like it's a barrier, protection barrier. And they do have a habit, if it's one person or maybe it's just people that they go around, for somebody it's a third party thing that they just have going on. It could be like a sexual addiction or something just psychologically going on that they haven't healed or mended, and that's just the way that they express it. But there's something there for a small group of you. That was the message there. So to avoid this being an issue in the future, any kind of deceit, dishonor, self, serving energy, or a personal drain just because you guys aren't pacing yourself, then that could become an issue. It could become a negative influence. Alright, as far as what we're avoiding here, the 4 of Pentacles. Alright, so we're avoiding that loss. We definitely don't want to do that, so we want to have constructive communication and take things easy, right? Okay, and what we need to know, 2 of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords. There's a lot of potential here as long as you're using your wisdom. Okay, make your choices wisely and know that there's no loss and be looking forward to more gain. But gaining and gaining and gaining and waiting for the loss, knowing it's inevitable, that's insanity, right? There's no point in that. So, you already know. Just keep it in the intention. And honestly, to me, it's kind of attractive when people are able to display self-discipline, right? And it's as long as you don't take it personally, because I feel like some of you are like, oh, well, did you just tell me that you know more than me? No, it's not about that. That's attractive that somebody can say, hey, I want to look forward to seeing you again. Let's keep this healthy, all right? So have healthy perspectives with this one, okay, guys? Okay. So any hidden facts that you need to know about. King of Swords. Alright, so the King of Swords is the potential to really cut something out because of the use of words. You guys have very good use of words, but it's also slightly dangerous, okay? It's almost like Scorpio energy, very, very sting, you know, very sting-like kind of a effect to it. So keep your, and somebody could have Scorpio in their chart, but the point is it can be damaging if it's not used properly. So as long as you guys are being positive with, you know, your interactions and things like that, I really do feel like the communications will stay they're just, it's coming from a deeper level, but it's articulated, it's disciplined, it's very attractive if it's used wisely, okay? All right, any blockages here? The Judgment, so realizing that to keep this moving forward, you have to keep a healthy boundary in place, okay? That's pretty straightforward, and definitely in line with what I'm seeing here, okay? You're not blocked from using your intuition, it's just a desire to do so or not at this point, okay? But don't create any unnecessary weight for yourself, okay? Because the influencing factors here are you doing this to yourselves. So just have a good time, make a schedule so that you guys aren't like not knowing when you're going to see each other again. That way there's a solid plan, but don't hold each other to it like, if it doesn't happen, this means. Don't do all that. Just keep it nice, keep it fun, okay? Keep it safe to where there's no expectations. No one has to feel pressure. The pressure is what just kills things, all right? All right, the Fool with the action to take. This is all about taking a leap of faith. I am by no means telling you just to stop or to slow down your passion. It's just using it in a constructive and organized fashion. That's what I'm recommending, okay? Keep it with spontaneity, but there's a sense of awareness because you are intentionally, you're using intentional awareness as you're making your choices. Okay. So further advice for you guys. Nice reading. I really like this. Connect with Gaia, Sun and Stars. So if you're really struggling because everything is just running wild with your emotions and it's so exciting, but maybe it's just consuming you, okay? Ground yourself, all right, and come into a peace with this where it's something that motivates you on a daily basis as opposed to becomes your detriment because it's all you can think about. Make this a positive because I'm telling you, go ahead and put it into your mind that put yourself in a month ahead with you choosing to continue in the path that might not be so constructive, and you're saying to yourself, okay, man, I wish I had just slowed it down. It was so perfect. Why did I want to keep it and rush it and keep it going? And feel that feeling a little bit, okay? It's a little bit of that remorse. And then apply that to now and be like, I'm not going to do that. I already know that that's possible, so I'm just going to back it up a little bit and avoid that. And figure out how to avoid that if you're not sure. Connecting with Gaia, grounding, that's how you do that. Okay. Now, for my partners here, we've got I'm going to pick up these cards so that I have more to choose from. To confirm your reading, because the singles there had a lot to say. I had a lot to receive. Alright, so I'll open up that's yours. Alright, now, partners, let's see what's going on here. What is going on there? Okay. Alright, so for my partners, Cancer partners, September 2019, the 8 of Swords in reverse. So you're coming out of some kind of restriction because you guys are able to communicate about something that's been kind of on the back burner. No one really wanted to talk about it. It was being avoided. it was something maybe someone was kind of embarrassed about, possibly it was just kind of a stupid decision or something that I don't feel like it's completely detrimental, but I do feel like it had a sting to it, and it is in need of balance. So that's really what's coming into play. It's the end of that old, it's releasing yourself from that toxic, thick energy that just kind of held you in that stagnant space of not being able to move forward or know or get clarity. You're coming away from that by having a communication and coming away from this restriction. That's all it's been. You've been trapped in your mind, thinking about what it all means. Is this going to move forward? Are they serious? Are they not? You know, why did this even happen? That's really been the focal point, okay? And that's what's coming to an end here. And the only way it's going to last is for that to happen, okay? Alright, so we want to avoid misinterpreting the difference between ending a cycle and beginning a new one. So if we take our emotions out of this and we come at this from a constructive, almost being tested point of view, I think you'll see things from a bit of a different light. And if you're absolutely kind of just done and fed up, then you know your answer, of course. But that doesn't mean that there's not something coming your way, and you still need to heal and remove yourself from these old energies. So depending on your situation, of course. Alright. So what you need to know is the King of Cups. So for many of you, I do still feel like the person you've been, that you're in a partnership with, there's still a lot of emotion here, a lot of passion. It took a turn that's coming back around. For many of you it is. It's coming back around into a more traditional type of look and feel. And then for others of you, you're getting information you needed to release yourself from that energy. Yeah. Five of Cups in reverse. Coming away from that energy, okay? And it's very relieving. It's very satisfying energy because it's not so stressful. It's not so weighed down is the feeling I keep kind of feeling there. This is about pursuing a wish fulfillment. And something that you guys established just got kind of put on hold, alright? But I wouldn't completely eliminate the option of moving forward in the future. And that, of course, that depends on your situation. If it's a heavy weight and heavy burden, then let's just take a look. What do we recommend here? If we're dealing with a situation that has a heavy burden here, manifest new. Okay? And that, you know what that means. If it's toxic, if it's volatile, if it's not motivating you into a healthy pattern or in a growth type of feeling, then it's, you know. But for the rest of you who kind of just hit a little bit of a lull there, the action to take is to see through this resting period and know that it was a tower moment that was absolutely necessary to happen. Whether it's you or them, whoever the tower hit, it needed to take place. Some type of a preparation mentally, some downloads, whatever needed to, a lesson learned, karmic debts released, whatever it was necessary, and it did need to take place. So for those of you who you're like, man, this doesn't make sense, this is my person, hopefully that kind of gives you an indication that the universe did have a big part to do with all of that. It was very necessary. Alright. People do change, folks. That's what it's all about. It's all about growing. Every day, every year, our whole life. Alright. So, any challenges between the two of you that you need to know about? The Eight of Cups, walking away. So when it gets tough, someone walks away. Alright? That is a blockage here. Okay? It stops the intuition from moving properly through your channels, and instead of moving towards better, you actually go backwards and put yourself, or this person puts themselves into the reverse and actually creates an extended period of blockage. So, if anything, avoid avoidance. Just deal with the situation, okay, with love and intention and desire to make a better result from this. Okay, so influencing factors here. I'm going to take this way. I wanted to fly out. The Four of Cups in the reverse. So sometimes someone gets blocked and has a hard time expressing this. And so it comes off with this bitter energy as opposed to I have a personal problem and I just need a moment to myself. If that could just be expressed, I really did get this feeling like it's a perception thing. It's a realization that this person just has, or you just have a way, a quirky way, or a different way. But the relationship can still be traditional, and it can still be solid. But there might be some realizations about, you know, some of the fundamentals of how everything's wired that needs to be either understood, respected, appreciated, whatever the deal is, okay? Alright. Ace of Swords is the advice. Communicate. Communication is going to be what gets you to this next level. It ends that old toxic, thick energy that you're stuck in, or that they're stuck in, and it gets out of this Five of Swords and King of Pentacles energy, okay? Communication. Communication and, again, realization. Coming into an understanding that there is something more going on here. It's not about ending it. It's about understanding something. I think it has something to do with this person has some kind of a unique way of handling certain things, maybe from their past, okay? Nurture versus nature kind of a thing going on. But slow down a little bit, and I think if you admire the other qualities and really look a little bit deeper into that particular one there's an issue with, or however that applies here, you'll see something, and I think you'll have a less tendency of walking away, or they'll have a less tendency of walking away. But there's something that you guys are going to just really appreciate about one another. I feel like wanting to satisfy the other person and having that quality of life and just kind of getting to that next level in the relationship is partly what's driving this. You guys just want to be able to have happiness day to day. That's, you know, who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't? Okay, and a message for my partners here. All right, learn from life. Meditation for clarity. They both came in the reverse. Some of you were like, fuck that, I'm out, okay? And you're like, I ain't meditating on shit, I know. And that's fine, because some of you, I can see that this was too much of a weight. This was karmic. You need to get out. Absolutely. Okay, so with the other group of you, this is saying, learn from what's going on. Look at what's happening a little bit deeper. And meditate for clarity to really see and feel through the fears and through the pain and all of those things that were hurtful. And really see a little bit deeper into this, okay? Because there's more going on here, for sure. And I think you're going to be very happy on the other end of this, okay? Once you feel very free and light and everybody's playful after you take a moment, especially during situations where it's just not coming to you, it's not clear, or if you're waiting for this realization or what to say, ground and meditate. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. Let me know if you want to look into your personal situation. Much love. Bye.